TL World at Middle World 1 YouTube channel. Swallowed Star 2. Origin Continent. Volume 7. Nine Rivers Holy Realm. Chapter 283 Return to the Origin Continent. 11th of Volume 7. After reviewing the intelligence reports, Luo Feng had a relatively clear understanding of the various factions, both visible and hidden, operating within Yulan City. Even the elders have to rely on the three palace masters, Luo Feng mused. With hundreds of millions of cultivators and millions of god emperors, Yulan City is like an enormous feast, one that required real strength just to have a seat at the table. Without power, one wouldn't even qualify to take a bite. As someone like me, just an insignificant newcomer, my only choice is to rely on hunting, Luo Feng said with a relaxed smile, entirely unfazed by his situation. Receiving such high rewards in the infinite space was a clear testament to his recognized potential. As for the future, Luo Feng had no doubts about his capabilities. He proceeded with his procurement purchase confident that theft was not an issue thanks to the illusory realm maze, which securely stored his treasures. For new cultivators, several million chaotic source crystals constituted a significant fortune, but among god emperors, it was hardly noteworthy. Interesting, Luo Feng murmured as the bionic eye of destruction at his brow opened, focusing on a leaf-shaped remnant in front of him. This was a fragment of a low-level Xuanhuan life form known as the Chaotic Devourer. Among the low-level Xuanhuan species, the Chaotic Devourer was relatively large, and the particular remnant before him belonged to one at the mid-stage God Emperor level. What's the lowest price for this material? Luo Feng asked the attendant beside him. The waiter maintained a polite smile. Each item has a detailed description and price listed. This one is priced at 5,000 chaotic source crystals. Luo Feng glanced at the waiter. I'm asking for the lowest possible price, I'm buying in bulk. The origins of these corpses varied, leading to price differences among sellers. Naturally, Luo Feng aimed to acquire as much as possible at the most reasonable rates. If you purchase items totaling 500,000 Xuanhuan crystals, you get a 10% discount. If you reach 5 million Xuanhuan crystals, the discount increases to 15%. The waiter informed him. That's the best deal we offer. Luo Feng nodded. From his intelligence sources, he knew that exceptionally large transactions sometimes allowed for further price negotiations. However, the funds he currently possessed were not substantial enough to qualify for such an exception. Still poor, Luo Feng sighed, looking at the remnants. Even when buying remains of low-level Xuanhuan life forms, I can only afford the cheapest ones. Remnants like scales contained far fewer profound secrets compared to crucial parts such as the core of life. The most valuable parts are used in weapon forging, alchemy, and other high-level crafts, making them prohibitively expensive. The prices seem fair. I'll need a batch, Luo Feng said as he gestured toward the attendant, making a detailed purchase list appear before them. This totals 520,000 Xuanhuan crystals. Hearing this, the waiter's smile widened. If the client proceeded with the purchase, he too would receive benefits. With the 10% discount, the total comes to 468,000 Xuanhuan crystals. The attendant, now enthusiastic, immediately added, I'll prepare your goods right away. Soon after, Luo Feng exchanged a pile of chaotic source crystals for a large stock of cultivation materials, storing them securely in a spatial bag. Within a single day, he had visited every merchant in Yulan City. With his level of experience, he efficiently identified the best purchasing strategies for the items he needed. By the end, he had spent a total of 3.22 million Xuanhuan crystals, feeling finally satisfied as he made his way back home. Brother Luo Feng. In the communal garden outside the cave mansion, Luo Feng spotted Di Ming and Di Fu chatting over drinks. Di Fu greeted him warmly. How was your first hunting trip outside the city? With brother Di Qing's being very experienced, we have gained quite a bit, Luo Feng replied with a smile. Congratulations, Di Ming added, looking slightly envious. He had recently joined a hunting team composed of early-stage God Emperor bloodline cultivators, individuals who were not valued by the elite hunting squads of Yulan City. As a result, they had no choice but to band together for survival. His team is still in the recruitment phase, and it would likely take several more centuries before they are ready to embark on a hunt. I wonder how my own hunt will turn out, Di Ming thought to himself. He had gathered extensive information about the areas outside the city. On one hand, Di Qing had provided him with key details, on the other early-stage God Emperor bloodline cultivators frequently exchanged intelligence. They are generally quite weak and impoverished. Their objective is to collaborate in defeating a low-level Xuanhuan life form at the early stage of the God Emperor. Successfully killing one would be considered an achievement. Due to their poverty and lack of substantial gains, raiding teams typically ignore them. These early-stage God Emperor bloodline cultivators might have formidable allies, and eliminating a group of destitute individuals offers little reward while potentially inviting unnecessary trouble. As a result, raiding teams prefer to avoid such actions. Brother Luo Feng, I secured a job at the Nine Ring Realm Tower. If you ever need to purchase formations in the future, you can come to me. Di Fu beamed with joy. After spending so much time in Yulan City, he had finally cleared the entrance exam for the Nine Rings Tower, and found a job. Nine Ring Realm Tower. Luo Feng immediately recognized the name. That's quite a good place. Congratulations. Haha, it's all thanks to Di Qing for providing detailed information. I also acquired some true witch lineage inheritances, and after comprehending them, I was finally able to pass the job entrance exam, Di Fu explained. The master of the Nine Ring Realm Tower is also a prominent elder of Yulan City, ranking among the top in formation mastery. However, he follows a sect known as True Sorcery. According to Yulan City's assessment, he has not absorbed the chaotic source's bloodline but has instead grasped the essence of the Tao, making him a recognized branch of the Enlightened One sect. Brother Luo Feng has returned. A voice called from a distance, Di Qing. Luo Feng nodded in response. Brother Luo Feng, after this hunt, I intend to go into seclusion for a while. My next hunt will likely be after reaching level 2 or 300. Di Qing turned to Luo Feng, adding, I want to focus on advancing properly. Luo Feng nodded. That sounds reasonable. Let's head out again after reaching level 2 or 300. Every hunt teeters on the brink of life and death, so it is common practice in the origin world for powerful cultivators to fully refine their gains before embarking on another hunt. If they are powerful beings from the myriad worlds, they wouldn't have clones, making their hunting expeditions even more cautious and meticulous. Alright, I'll inform you when I'm done with my seclusion. Di Qing smiled. He was used to long periods of isolation, and each time he withdrew, he hoped to make another breakthrough. Though he already had one foot in the mid-stage of the God Emperor realm, he still needed to accumulate sufficient progress before stepping fully into it. Di Qing entered seclusion. Meanwhile, Di Fu started his job at the Nine Rings Realm Tower in Yulan City. Di Ming frequently ventured out to meet with his teammates. They have been preparing for a hunt but are still in the planning phase. I want to visit the Holy Mountain. Luo Feng quietly boarded an official spacecraft departing from Yulan City toward the Holy Mountain. The ticket for the official flying boat costs 1,000 Xuanhuan crystals, significantly more than what Di Qing charged last time, Luo Feng mused. With a sigh, he realized that the entire Nine Rivers Holy Realm had only one official flying boat operating each season. This flying boat made stops at 35 cities, picking up a large number of passengers before finally reaching the Holy Mountain. On its return journey, it carried newly admitted practitioners, following the same route back through the 35 cities. Each of these cities had strict regulations. While God Emperors are permitted to pilot their own flying boat to the Holy Mountain, they are strictly prohibited from transporting guests. However, these restrictions did not apply at the Holy Mountain itself. God Emperors returning to their cities were allowed to bring new practitioners with them, and the cost of doing so was usually only 1/10 of the official fare. Of course, private flying boats couldn't match the official ones in terms of speed and security. Di Qing's expertise in spatial pathways and formations is what allows him to pilot his flying boat alone, Luo Feng thought to himself. His own specialization lay in the Tao of life and death, making him less proficient in travel compared to Di Qing. Whoosh! The official flying boat's cabin buzzed with activity, filled with over 5,000 passengers. Luo Feng scanned the crowd, assessing their auras. Most of them were at the God Emperor level. After all, those below the God Emperor realm are too poor, the cost of a round-trip ticket remained prohibitively high. The official flying boat's pilot is a late-stage God Emperor bloodline cultivator, slightly superior to Di Qing in terms of flying skills. However, the flying boat itself was an extraordinary artifact. Its speed is astonishingly fast. Along the journey, they passed by city after city, swiftly closing the distance to their destination. As the airship journeyed forward, cultivators disembarked while others boarded, each paying a uniform fare of 1,000 chaotic source crystals. With the authorities' support, this airship can travel to any city on the 35th floor, Luo Feng silently observed. Despite taking a lengthy detour, the flying vessel reached the Holy Mountain within 2 days. Upon arrival, more than half of the passengers were swiftly flew out. Luo Feng gazed at the towering Holy Mountain before him, his eyes drawn to the deep pool at its base, where over 100 figures had already gathered. This is the official airship of the Nine Rivers Holy Realm, a towering figure announced. It was the God Emperor, the ship's pilot, his presence radiating an overwhelming and oppressive aura. Travel fare, 1,000 Xuanhuan crystals or an equivalent exchange per person. He continued, within the 35th layer of the Nine Rivers Holy Realm, you may use a flying boat to travel to any city. One by one, over 100 figures boarded the airship. However, Luo Feng had no intention of following them. Instead, he approached the deep pool at the mountain's base. Without hesitation, he leapt. Whoosh! The moment he entered the pool, he instantly perceived a dense web of spatial coordinates. His consciousness immediately locked onto the one most familiar to him, the spatial coordinates of the origin continent. A single droplet of water enveloped Luo Feng. Then, whoosh! He was propelled out of the Nine Rivers Holy Realm at immense speed. The water droplet carried Luo Feng through the vast expanse of Xuanhuan space, moving at an almost incomprehensible velocity. He occasionally glimpsed enormous chaotic source worlds emerging before him, only for them to be flung far behind in an instant. Even though this is my second time experiencing this journey, it still amazes me. Luo Feng admired the breathtaking spectacle unfolding outside as he retraced his path. Then, on the distant horizon, a familiar world appeared. Origin continent. Luo Feng's expression lit up with joy. Who? In an instant, the water droplet pierced through the void and entered the depths of the origin continent. In a remote valley within the sky icefield, a single droplet of water plummeted into a dark, deep pool. Moments later, Luo Feng emerged, rising into the sky. I am back. He scanned his surroundings. This time, he had returned with only a single clone, while his other clones remained stationed in Yulan City. I've brought back a great number of treasures, Luo Feng thought, feeling invigorated. While the Nine Rivers Holy Realm provided opportunities to study the remains of countless low-level Xuanhuan lifeforms, the process was still too slow. On the origin continent, however, he had access to the Eye of Life and Death, the infinite space exchange, and countless treasure vaults, resources that would significantly accelerate his progress. Whoosh! With a mere thought, Luo Feng locked onto a distant location, Huyang City. In a single step, he was already there. Blank. End of chapter. Subscribe. MTL World at Mittel World 1 YouTube channel.